Happy New Year everyone, and welcome to another Magical Moon video. It's a very icy one here, and we're going to share a little bit of that with you guys. So get a cup of tea, snuggle yourselves in and see how we deal with those ever-changing or their climatic conditions, but more importantly what happens when it gets really cold. We lose the water to the barn, so we've only got the house, and even then we have to keep that protected. So there's lots of challenges, and we're going to meet up with some very special guests along the way. Enjoy the video. So normally we're in the feed room, but as I mentioned, we're all cut off with water down there. It's not a massive problem, it's not insurmountable. It is just another thing we have to deal with at this time of year. And you might have seen the hose, which I lay out and put it to the lowest point here on the drive, and then it siphons the water out. So in the morning, if we can get a tap running, we can get all the waters in the barn done. But the really useful thing about having their dinners that they have with so much water is they're getting a good amount of liquid just from their feeds, and at this time of year it is hard to get the water. That's Annabelle saying hurry up. At this time of year it's hard to get the water into them because it's so cold, so we can do a tepid water just to encourage them, but this is really useful. As I say, they're getting what they need to start off with, and we know that they're getting that certain amount of water. It's definitely time to go. We're out and about, we're down in the bottom fields, and as you can see, Peggy, Pip and the little Eeyore are doing a fantastic job at, well, clearing all those brambles. They are really gnarly, but it doesn't seem to bother them, and just to this lump to the side, they've obviously picked all the leaves off, and then the next stage is they go in for the finishing the job. And they've done all the perimeter, all the hedge, or all the headland is all completely clear. It's a fantastic job, but more importantly, there's loads of stuff still in there that they can eat. We're going to move them across into new pastures when needed, because just another job I don't need to do. But the reason we're down here is because we're going to the water source, and you might be able to hear it in the background. We just need to check that it hasn't frozen over in patches, because it could be passing underneath. So we're going to have a little walk down to the brook and yeah, see if it's still doing what it should be doing. So that's a good sound, and you can see the water is flowing freely, which is what we want. I was just concerned it might have iced over. And that's the problem we get with that static water that is put in buckets for the legends that are in the stables or in the barn. And even the ones outside, as you saw, we had to, you know, knock off the ice and get it to move to get to the water underneath. But here there obviously isn't that problem, and it is hard just trying to get the water into them, because it can't be very nice having to have the very, very cold water in the barn. And that's why we wash the buckets out and we'll put that tepid water in for them, just to try and encourage them. As we said before, they're getting quite a lot of water content in their daily porridge and in their feeds, and then of course at night they have the green nuts, even more of that lovely soupy porridgey stuff, which is with the warm water. As I say, that's one of our biggest challenges at this time of year, but not down here. We're just down from the Bygone Bridge, and we've got the laser thermometer, and as you can see there's quite a difference in the temperature of this running water, as we suspected, than the water, the still water in the buckets in the barn. So the guys that are outside are getting a really good deal at this time of year, and we can see evidence where they come down and they drink from here. But with the guys in the barn, like we said, we've just got to try and keep them hydrated as much as possible. And obviously, as all the animals are getting older, that's becoming harder and harder. But it's another one of those challenges that we embrace here at the Magical Moon household, and we share with you along with all the other animals. And those two little boys that came the other day, the two new arrivals, are settling in a treat. And you'll be able to see them in up and coming videos. They're now off the lead. We're back from the supply store, and we got some necessities which we're going to share with you in up and coming videos. But more importantly, tomorrow's episode is all going to be about Tiny Tim. And although he can't taste freedom truly, He gets the feel of grass under his little hooves for the first time, along with Sweet Pea, with that much needed freedom that she's so deserved with that old friend Tintin. And on that note, I'm going to say stay magical, and we'll see you next time.